The Beehive shows that we can solve even the biggest problems in automation challenges by working together, using our combined knowledge and the latest technology. What will beehives look like in the future? Will beehives be smart with IoT? While beekeepers need to keep their bees happy and healthy, they face various challenges. To find out what these challenges are, we talk to beekeeper Friedrich Wegener.
Friedrich, beekeeping is demanding and time-consuming. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It really is a time-killing hobby, so to speak. However, it depends on the time of the year how much time you must invest. For example, during the wintertime, there's not much to do for a beekeeper, whereas in the spring, it is getting a bit more active. Then you ought to check on the bee colony once per week to observe whether the colony is already in swarm mood and make sure that the bees are generally healthy and happy.
Since it is not so far away, how about if we have a look at the beehive?
Sure, it's right around the corner over here.
Well, you have... How many colonies are these exactly?
7.
7. All right, why not have a look at one of them?
Okay, let's do that.
Let's see what it looks like on the inside.
How active the ladies already are. The sun is shining on the hive quite nicely.
Is it fair to say that those are the winter bees?
Yes, those are the winter bees. And the difference between summer and winter bees is immense, as the winter bees live for several months throughout the entire winter, whereas the summer bees are working very hard and thus usually don't live for more than 6 weeks.
Oh, just so short? There are many different challenges for a beekeeper. You also know the other perspective as someone who is working with Phoenix Contact. So, of course, you are aware of all the applications that you are offering in regard to OIT and its technological possibilities. Can you imagine that there will be such a thing as the smart beehive sometime in the future?
Indeed, I can imagine that because there are plenty of parameters which could be detected with the help of electronic devices. You could install sensors for remote maintenance or monitoring, as I would like to call it.
Yes. Why don't you show us what you have built here? Which hive is it?
The beehive on the left is placed on a permanent scale. And around the corner, you can see a small mini-computer, which is installed in a mini-control cabinet. This is part of an open-source project that I have found on the internet.
That means you have a whole lot of data that you are collecting. Where do you see them? Where are they displayed?
I actually receive all my data directly onto my cell phone.
Let's see it.
You can make yourself comfortable as a beekeeper and then check your cell phone to find out what is going on at the beehive. Look at the curves, loss of weight, and temperature progression.
Oh, there is a dramatic descent right there.
Probably due to the sudden temperature drop, they most likely needed a lot more food.
And the second one?
That's a temperature curve, and the third is another temperature curve. And down there, it continues with the air pressure. Currently, the weight is the most helpful information for me because there really is a lot you can assume from the weight. For example, you can measure the food storage in the winter by looking at the weight. And then in the spring, when the colonies get into swarm mood and some of the swarms move out, you can see that on the scale as well. I have set an alarm for when a swarm from this colony has moved out, according to the scale. I get notified via my cell phone and know immediately that a swarm is gone. In that case, I can go into my garden and try to recapture that swarm.
That means important challenges for the beekeepers are, on the one hand, to recognize any swarm preparations in time, and on the other, to make sure that there's enough food in store.
Absolutely, correct.
What kind of technological solutions can you imagine would ultimately improve these processes?
One interesting topic is the change in temperature inside the beehive with special sensors. Once the colony gets into swarm mood, the temperature increases. Thus, constantly monitoring the temperature could be helpful in detecting that moment in time.
Now it's up to you. Can we make the lives of the beekeepers easier? What technological possibilities Whether apps or small inventions with an automation approach come to your mind. Share your ideas with us at the Beehive, the community project of PLCnext Technology. You'll find all further information and videos under this link.